This week on Taste Utah, we head to West Jordan and visit UNI Kitchen, where they're perfecting the magical soup of Vietnam, pho. Chef Sean is using fresh and handcrafted ingredients passed down from recipes his mom gave him. His mission is simple, to use food as a way to connect you and I. And his restaurant is becoming a conduit for human connection and sharing stories through food. Finally, we head up to Altamount, where the Myrin family ranch has been working hard to bring Utahns homegrown grass-fed beef for generations. These cattle graze on a strict diet, feasting only on the finest mountain grasses Eastern Utah has to offer. Taste Utah is more than your typical food show. It's about local flavor, from roots through authentically Utah restaurants. It's the people and the places that make Utah a dining destination. There's so much soil and earth to uncover and still so many great Utah restaurants to savor. We bring you the stories and we spread the love. The best thing about Utah, the views along the way, they're not bad either. We're not afraid to get our hands just a little dirty. Food is a necessity, and it's how we create it and share it and experience it together that truly shapes our community. Whether you're choosing to dine in our dining rooms, order to go, or get delivery, you always have a seat at this table. Are you ready to taste Utah?
It's a beautiful day in West Jordan, and we are at UNI Kitchen. They're taking all of the traditional dishes of Vietnam and putting special ingredients, special signature touches on them. I cannot wait to introduce you to Sean, owner, chef, and let you understand all the love he's putting in to his amazing dishes. Let's go. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, it's so wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Yep, thank you. My honor to have you here too.
It smells amazing in here.
Thank you.
It looks like you have a few things prepared.
Yep.
All right, lead the way.
Okay, let's go.
Sean, it smells so good at this table.
you.
Now, what is your background?
I used to work with a lot of the restaurants.
Okay.
And all the recipe that I have right here from my mom.
From your mom?
Yes.
And Sean, where are you from?
Vietnam.
So you're from Vietnam and came over as a child?
Yes.
So what do you have in front of us?
So we have kimchi fried rice with sunny side up eggs on top.
Ooh.
And this is the shrimp stir-fry ramen.
So this is kind of like a shrimp lo mein, but you use the ramen noodles.
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because the ramen is a fresh noodle.
Yeah, ramen is a fresh noodle.
So we make in-house.
You make the noodles in-house?
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about UNI Kitchen. What is the concept?
Vietnamese foods like have a long history.
Yes.
I just want to share people, you know.
Yeah.
My unique dish.
Okay.
My culture, my history.
Yes.
To the world through UNI.
What other menu items do you have that you feel like are your sort of traditional take on?
Pho dish is #1 sell here.
Number one.
Yes.
Winter, summer, doesn't matter.
Yes.
What is pho?
Pho, basically we infuse with a lot of Vietnamese herbs like black cardamom.
Ooh, black cardamom is so good.
Licorice.
Little licorice, so maybe like a star anise or something
Yes,
like that.
anise, yeah.
Nice.
Pho is my favorite.
I can tell the ingredients are so fresh.
Yes, everything we do in-house.
No, you're the owner and you are the chef?
Yes, ma'am.
So when people come in, they're gonna see you cooking their food?
Yes, ma'am.
What are some of the other options besides what we see on the table that people can
We
get here?
have vermicelli noodles. So,
Vermicelli noodles?
Yes.
Okay.
We have like garlic butter, beef.
Oh, okay.
With vermicelli noodles. We also have a sandwich.
Okay.
Vietnamese sandwich.
Is that like a banh mi?
Yeah, banh mi, yes.
I mean, you really are doing the breadth of what the Vietnamese experience would be.
Yes. We opened last year.
Okay.
And
You opened during the pandemic.
Yes. And then we opened about 3 months, and then we got shut down for
Right.
2 months. And then we reopened in mid-September until today. But somehow I have a lot of customers coming.
This is so delicious, and you just wouldn't know it was here unless you know it's here, and now you know it's here. I sort of feel like the only thing that we're missing in this whole conversation and at this table is pho.
Yes.
And maybe we could go in the kitchen and make some?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Chef Sean, they say that pho is like the soul food
Yes.
in Vietnam?
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna lay it down for us.
Okay. We're gonna have this one.
Drop that in some water just to blanch
Yep.
the bean sprouts.
The reason that I do this because the pho,
Yeah.
when you have the cold bean sprout, it's gonna cool down the broth.
Okay, so this keeps everything nice and piping hot.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So what kind of broth do you use?
I'm gonna use the beef broth today.
Beef broth. Okay,
Yes.
and how many different broths are available?
I have beef broth,
Okay.
chicken broth,
Okay.
and vegan broth.
So you could get a vegan pho here?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
This onion.
So thinly sliced onions,
Yes.
white onions, and red onions?
Yes.
Okay.
And this are my favorites. So
Okay, beautiful. And then a little sugar?
yeah, just a little sugar.
You can do a little pickling?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the rice vinegar.
Rice vinegar, okay. Beautiful.
And just make them up.
Okay,
Go here.
perfect.
Some black pepper.
Okay, a little black pepper.
Let's start with the noodles.
Yum, now what kind of noodles are we using?
We're gonna use the rice noodle.
Rice noodle, okay, perfect. You just have this pot of water that's boiling all the time.
Yep.
And you're just kissing them in that water. You're giving them just a real quick dunk.
Yep.
What kind of meats do we have?
So we have brisket,
Brisket,
ribeye,
ribeye,
and meatball.
meatball.
So I'm gonna have brisket in.
Okay. And are you cooking the brisket in-house?
Yes.
And then slicing it?
Yes.
Nice.
And the meatball, we're
Meatball.
gonna throw in the
Okay.
broth. And then this one on top. Then we have some onion.
Little onion.
The broth is boiling now.
It looks like there's oil in it as well.
Actually, this bone marrow.
That's the oil from the bone marrow.
Yes.
That's amazing. Then to
Some-
finish,
Yep.
little pepper.
Yep.
So if I were going to be enjoying this, could I dress it like I was? So I would do like
Drop some of
a
this.
little bit of that. And I would do a little red onion, a little, yes. And then I would do a little squeeze of a lime over the top. Ooh, and then Thai basil.
Yep.
Yum, that's my favorite. And then I would just do probably several sprigs of this. Let's be real here. From start to finish, every single thing that's in here, including the broth, it takes about at least 2 days, right? To get this bowl in front of us.
Yes.
I mean, that is amazing. And you're just building flavors, you're layering textures. I mean, I'm salivating just looking at it. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing it to Utah. Thank you for having us here. And I'm gonna go enjoy this.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're in Altamont, Utah. It's eastern Utah, and we're visiting Canyon Meadows Ranch. We're visiting with a family of ranchers, 3 generations. We're gonna meet Deborah and the whole crew, and we're gonna listen to how much care goes into raising grass-fed beef. You ready to get tasting? Let's do it. Hi! Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, thank you for coming.
Oh my gosh. So this is a much bigger greeting than I thought would be here. So tell me who everyone is and the experience of the ranch.
My husband and I live on the ranch and raise our kids here. We all work together. These are my parents, Alarik and Beth. They took on the ranch from my grandpa, from my dad's dad.
Oh my gosh.
And carried it on. This is my brother Rik and his wife Staci, and they've also raised their family here on the ranch.
Okay.
And then this is my younger brother Nils.
Okay.
We all have our different areas that we work on, but we all come together to make the ranch run.
So what do we have in store for me today?
We'll show you a couple different spots on the ranch and some of the animals. So we'll take you down to the field and kind of go over the history to start with.
Hey, let's do it. Yeah, lead the way.
Okay. So this is part of the original ranch where it started. My grandpa, he immigrated from Sweden, and then he was in the army during World War II. And then after the war, he came back here and started this ranch. My parents continued on with the ranch in the 60s, I think it was. And when I was growing up, we started with probably 300 pair.
Okay. What does pairs mean?
So that's a mother cow and a calf.
Oh, okay, very cool.
And then we also keep over the yearlings, heifers and steers.
And so what was it like for you growing up on a ranch?
During the summer, we'd spend a lot of time doing hay on the tractors, and then moving cows was always the fun part. We got to ride horses.
Did you ever live off the ranch?
I did for a little bit. I went to college at Utah State, and then I went to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and worked for a conservation nonprofit there.
Wow.
I feel grateful and lucky that there was a place for me here, and that's something I wanted to do and was able to work into.
People can find you at the farmer's market, they can go to your website, but then you're also sourcing to some local restaurants.
We source to the Lake House by Deer Creek.
Great.
And then we're part of the Bon Appetit management company that sources to different cafes.
The altitude is really high up here too, which is amazing. So you really are breathing clean air. It's just a gorgeous. You're listening to the birds chirp. Like what a great quality of life.
Yeah, it really is.
Nils!
Hi.
This is amazing!
Thanks.
Deborah was saying that everyone on the farm, every sibling on the farm sort of has their area of expertise. How would you break down what your area of expertise is?
So most of my time spent with managing the cattle and the pasture.
Okay.
So just deciding where to move next. And a big part of that, the pasture management is like going into fall now, we're setting aside pasture that we'll calve on in the spring. So we won't graze that now so that we'll have clean ground and good cover for the newborn calves in the spring.
Wow.
And then when we wean, we have to set aside better quality pasture for the weaned calves. So the calves will go one way and then the cows can go on the rougher feed. So it all kind of ties together. And those areas that we set aside for spring grazing, they're good for wildlife. During the winter months, wildlife can kind of move in.
Okay.
So
it's like your PhD in intention and like Mother Nature. So understanding what's good for the earth and what's good for the animal and the synergy there, and then having that intentionality to know that your job, if you will, the job of the animal is 365 days a year. So how can you be as gentle and still efficient and effective in making certain that they have the nicest experience possible?
I think you're right. It's enjoyable to run cattle that way, and they do better, gain better, healthier. So it all ties together.
So where are we now in the breadth of your huge 3,000 acre ranch?
We're kind of right in the middle of it.
Okay.
And we're just below this bench here, and the rest kind of stretches out to the river and then both directions from there.
Oh.
So here we've got our steers.
Okay.
And they're a year and a half old. They're all home raised, so they would have been born spring of 20. They summered with their mothers on the mountain.
Okay.
We fence line wean on pasture.
Okay.
And so we use electric fence to accomplish this, and the calves are on one side and the cows on the other.
Okay.
And so this way they can still see each other, and it's less stress on the calves, and they do really well that way.
That's wonderful, and you're taking into account the quality of their life, and that's pretty amazing.
Health and yeah.
How many, I guess, would you say heads of cattle do you have right now on your farm?
So the bulk of the cows are on the force. We're around 500 to 600 head a pair.
Okay.
And then we run the yearlings. We've got around 60 head here right now, and these steers are what supply our beef business.
Okay.
So they're all natural, 100% grass fed, no grain.
Talk about managing the grass, because I think that's so interesting for the viewer at home. So as a rancher, you're also very aware of what you're putting into the bodies of your cattle.
Right.
And also managing that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the grass is our resource, the land's our resource, and the cattle are a way to harvest it. And it kind of turns out that what's good for the land is good for the cattle also. But so these steers have been on daily moves.
Okay.
And we have an employee, Zach. He helps move them through the summer and keeps them going. We try to keep that base. That base kind of protects the soil. And then the cattle also, when they trample through the pasture, they incorporate organic matter and helps build the soil also. And with the electric fence making the move smaller, you get a more uniform distribution of the nutrients back to the soil.
And the electric fence is basically like a sheltie or something that's just helping, like a dog, that's helping to guide the cattle. So if you were taking the cattle on a cattle drive, you would have these dogs on either side of them to make sure that they were nice and centralized. And here you have somebody probably leading from behind, helping the cattle along the way. And then the electric fence is just it's a
guide.
Yeah, nice little guide.
Yeah, so
they want to be on TV. They can't help themselves.
Right, they're pretty friendly.
So cute.
When they move regularly, it kind of changes their behavior to where it makes them easier to work with, and they'll follow you better than to push them after a while.
Well, this is a pretty extraordinary view.
Thank you.
Thank you. I always say this on the show, but when we speak with ranchers, it's like, and those stewards who raise animals, it's not a career, it's literally a lifestyle.
Yes,
because if
absolutely.
You have an issue with an animal on Christmas Eve or on New Year's Eve, you're not celebrating with the fam until that animal is taken care of. And you know, you have a great operation where you may have employees and things like that, and still it always comes back to you because you are the fountainhead.
Right. Absolutely.
Used to always tease the kids on Christmas morning. They'd get up and be excited, and we'd say, well, we got to go feed the cows first, and then we'll come open presents.
You raised your family on the ranch.
Yes, we did.
How many kids?
5 altogether.
5 kids. And are they all off the ranch now, or are they
right
still?
Now they are. The 3 older ones are out in the world working, doing their own thing. The 2 youngest, I think, are more geared toward the lifestyle and would like to pursue an agricultural career. And it really takes generations of learning. I think that's why you do see a lot of the farms and ranches stay in the families, is because it's not an easy job. It takes generations of that process to understand and really love the land and know what it needs.
Yeah, that's such a great point.
Yeah.
We appreciate your telling our story too.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for letting us. This is just, I just feel like people need to come and work on a farm or a ranch for some time to be able to really appreciate what they see in a grocery store or what gets put on your plate at a restaurant, because chefs do such a great job of making it look so pretty, but this sacred act of the handoff of life-sustaining nutrients from the very, seed all the way through the fruit, which oftentimes is what you get for dinner. It's so special, and I don't feel like it gets talked about enough. So just
well said. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Deborah, it has been a full but really educational day. It's been so fun. Grass-fed beef. Can I ask you why grass-fed beef?
Starting with the land and the animals, it's a good way to manage the animals and build the soil and take care of the land. And then it also has health benefits, and it tastes great.
Tell us a little bit about the products that you offer through your efforts.
So we offer everything from a single cut. You can buy a pound of ground beef or one roast or one steak. And then we also do bulk, so you can purchase a quarter, a half, or a whole beef, custom cut on those. So we have 3 different fat contents in the ground beef. The short ribs, the chuck roast, and then a couple steaks there.
Yeah, I see the New York steak. That's like my mom, my sisters go to. They love them. I get New York cut, and it looks amazing. And then this is sort of the finished product. What is this?
So this is 2 chuck roasts that have been slow cooked.
It literally smells like Sunday dinner at my house. It's phenomenal. And then you sell at farmers markets, you distribute to local restaurants. Are there any other ways people can sort of interact with you?
We sell our beef at some of the local stores as well.
Great.
And then we also do a weekly home delivery on Fridays.
Okay.
And if you go to our website, we have a list of all the stores and the restaurants and ordering information for home delivery as well.
Okay. It is just our pleasure to introduce you to Utah, to those that don't know about you, and just to share your story. Thank you so much for everything you do, all the time, the work. I mean, the family is full of love, and you are just spreading that all over the beautiful fields, all over everywhere, infusing it into your animals, and we're just very grateful.
Well, thank you very much for visiting.